folks? It's Tanner Ross from the Average Mountain Biker YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to tune your own derailleur. You're going to need a set of Allen keys. The only one we're going to use today is going to be that 3. It's going to be a 3mm Allen key. It's a metric size. So that's really going to be the only one we're going to use today. So with average cable derailleurs nowadays, there's going to be 4 adjustments that the average person will basically have to touch to be able to get their derailleur perfect. There's going to be the high limit screw, which is going to be that left one, and then the low limit screw, which is going to be that right one. On my specific derailleur, that is how it goes. On your derailleur, they should be marked with an H for the high limit and an L for the low limit. And the low limit is going to correspond to the big gear, or the limit as the derailleur is farthest inboard of the bike or closest to that center hub. And the high gear or the high limit screw, or that left screw in my case, is going to correspond to the smallest gear, or the highest gear ratio, I like to think. And the other 2 adjustments we have is this little guy right here, which is going to be the B screw. The B screw is going to control how far the derailleur sits away from the bike. So for clearing that big cog and just not getting in the way and grinding these pulley wheels onto that big cog, we're going to have to adjust that B screw. And then the final adjustment, I'll bring it up here, is going to be at the shifter itself, and this is going to be cable tension. Cable tension is going to pull the derailleur either inboard or outboard, depending on which way you turn that. So if you turn this away from you, then it will pull the derailleur inboard. So I like to think of it like this. If you turn that barrel adjuster away from you when you're sitting on the bike, or I guess it would be like left, counterclockwise, you're going to pull the derailleur inboard. And you're basically just going to shift all the shifts over that way a little bit, or inboard towards the center hub, and then pulling it towards you or clockwise on this barrel adjuster like that is going to pull the derailleur outboard or away from that. So I'm going to start off with the high limit adjustment, or for the highest gear ratio on the bike, the smallest cog. So as you can see, I'm hitting the shifter. We're all shifted up. We're supposed to be in that highest gear right there. And what this is going to do is this high limit screw will adjust where the derailleur is on that line. So as you can see, as I'm screwing this in, the derailleur is moving over. So I'm going to have it so it's shifted into the second cog up, and then I'm going to back it off, or counterclockwise loosen it, lefty loosey, until that chain jumps down, there you go, into that small cog right there. And I don't want the derailleur outboard too far, because it can throw the chain onto the frame right here. So you just want to do it just enough to where it jumps off that second smallest cog to the smallest cog. And then from there, we're going to shift up and do the low gear ratio now. So I'm just going to give it single increment shifts, not trying to be, I know the cable tension is out of adjustment, so I want to be nice with it. And so you can see we're in the lowest gear ratio now, so we're going to go to that low limit screw right there. In my case, it's on the left side. And then kind of same thing, I'm going to tighten it up until it's sitting on the second biggest gear, and then I'm just going to back it off. And I'm tightening it, by the way. I'm tightening it until it gets onto that second lowest gear, and then I'm just going to back it off until it goes into that gear and it stays in that gear reliably. And so, you see how we're having some issues right here? This means, so I've tried the limit screw, right? Limit screw, I've touched that and it's not working. This means it's cable tension. The cable tension isn't allowing it to get all the way out there. So, back to cable tension, and I'll kind of put it up a little bit so you can see. But I want this derailleur to move inboard a little bit. So this barrel adjuster up at the top is going to go away from me or counterclockwise. When this gets unscrewed, it imparts cable tension onto the cable and it pulls the derailleur in. So I'm just going to give these a few counterclockwise turns until I hear that stay. There you go. And you see how it's now staying in that gear? It's not skipping. Chain is laying perfectly on here. It's not getting thrown. It's not getting thrown up a little bit. It's not being pulled down into this gear. And then from here, let's try it. You see, now I'm having some issue right there, so I need to relieve a little bit of cable tension or pull it towards me, because I know, remember I set that limit screw, I know that limit screw is good. And we're still having some little issues right in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the barrel adjuster that way or away from me until alright, and I'm going to show you that B-screw adjustment. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to give, I guess, some general troubleshooting tips. Okay, so if it's acting weird, kind of in some of the middle cogs, like a couple of those middle cogs, shifting between them, it's acting weird, but it shifts good for, you know, the other 70% of the cassette, you know, top, bottom, and somewhere in here it gets a little messy. Could be your derailleur hanger. There's a hanger right here which hangs this off the bike. It's a failure point. It's made to bend in the case of impact, so your big expensive derailleur does not. But if that gets messed up, then, you know, your derailleur is not going to be in alignment no matter how hard you want or try to make it. So that can be replaced. There is also a derailleur hanger alignment gauge that can be used. I personally don't have one, but you could check the alignment of it. You can bend it back if it's not too bad. But yeah, you could also get another one for, I've seen them anywhere 25 to 50 bucks. So it's really kind of a toss-up. Chances are it's going to be way cheaper than your derailleur, so thank God. But so this is the B screw right here, and you can kind of see right in here backlit. This is where the B screw adjustment sets on. So all it does, it goes on the derailleur hanger, and if you tighten it, it'll make your derailleur sit a bit farther away from the derailleur or from the derailleur hanger. So you screw this in, it'll push down on this hanger right here, and it'll pull the derailleur up and away from it. And all you want to do, you just want to look at that gap right here between your biggest cog or your first pulley wheel and then your biggest cog on there. And you want it, I can actually probably bring it down a little bit. So that is loosening it. Or actually no, it's tightening it. I want to loosen it. And that just kind of helps get a little bit better chain retention on that. And the other thing is with the B screw, your chain has to be the right length. If your chain is not the right length, then the B screw isn't going to do anything, and you're just going to have a nice floppy chain. So all you just make sure that that's all nice and taut when you're in that biggest gear. And then the other thing for your B screw, you're going to set it in that gear, but you're going to bring it all the way down to this gear, because this gear is where you might get some hitting right in there. So as long as you check that and you're good, then you're all good to go. All right. And then, once you're all done, should be shifting great.